Rose, hey guys, what's up? It's Sean. I'm the ToGA brother. Um, I wanted to address something real quick first and foremost. So, if you haven't seen my co-creator, he's officially dropped out of his original um name on his channel, which I did link. So if you go to my homepage, and you'll see up above, or if you're on your mobile device, on your tablet, and go to my original homepage, and right up at the top there, okay, you'll see a link or two links. Now, one of them says like train or something. That's his channel. He's pulled himself and he's going to do a whole new, um, pretty much reset, and I wanted to address that because I'm taking on this branding from now on. He will always be my co-creator at my heart and my soul. So I wanted to let you guys know that he will not be forgotten, but he's just going to let me go on with this channel. Now, secondly, I wanted to address something with you guys. It has been a long time since I've done a live, haven't I? Um, and because of that, a lot has changed, okay? Um, I'm just wearing this t-shirt. It has no affliction as to one of the changes. Yes, I did visit the USS Midway in San Diego. It is a World War II aircraft carrier that was used in World War II. And it was a significant ship in that whole wartime particular era, and it was used a little bit later on then as well. Um, I also wanted to tell you that I will not be doing any more music. I won't be doing any more other that content because I don't want this channel to get flagged. Okay. So moving forward, I'd like to get into this. All right. Um, and while I do that, I recently just discovered one of the really, really, really good drinks, and it is Mountain Dew Dirty. It's the cream soda one. Um, a lot of you guys are getting a lot of flack to this, but I particularly enjoy it. It's really good stuff. So I'm gonna have some if you guys don't mind. Pop a top. Hey, welcome in. We're doing some updates. I just want to let you guys know. Okay. All right. I'd like to go get one of my props for this if you all don't mind. So pause that right there. Hold on. All right, guys, welcome back. So, if y'all don't remember, I'm going to reshare it with you. Do y'all remember this guy that I made a while back? Right? It's got some of the taxiways here in red and the runways. Okay. And then down the bottom, it's got some information for myself. All right. So, why do you think I made one like this on poster board? Why do you think these are here? Why do you think those numbers are there? Okay. Well, that's update number one. Okay. If you guys don't already know, I actually just got a internal promotion slash job change. Um, and effective on Saturday, I test out for it. Am I scared of it? No, not one bit. It's going to take some, um, really some grind for me to complete this exam, but I'm by no means worried about it, scared about it, nervous about it, and anything. To me, it's just going to be a normal day. What am I talking about? Okay, do you guys remember back in DC when I did my content and I did a bunch of moves? Okay, thank you, appreciate that. Um, I went to the move team for IAD. All right. Now, IAD, as you guys are already aware, I did this little poster board right here, right? To kind of remember, refresh, and keep all these taxiways in mind, right? So you got runway 19 left, one right. Um, and if you guys remember, okay, runways are always 90 degrees, I'm sorry, 180 degrees from each other. So this is 010, and this is 190, right? So on a compass, right? Because they're always 180 degrees from each other. Um, but when you're out there, you have to memorize these taxiways because when you, let's say, you're pushing from one of the gates and it's on Charlie and Delta, and the controller tells you to go to spot 83 short of Zulu and then contact ground. Well, 83 is over here, but what is up here? Juliet and Kilo. So you'd have to say to the controller, well, I need to verify this information. Is this correct information? Because you're sending me one direction, but according to the information I've been given and the locations, they don't match, right? That should have been spot 83 by Juliet and contact the next controller. Okay. That would have been correct. That would have been effective. Okay. So and this is a kind of a sloppy scale, but it's to memorize these numbers. And in IED, they're alphanumeric, which means there's a letter and there's a number, right? An alphanumeric code, right? Designation. Now, in Houston, okay, there is double letter designation. You've got Whiskey Papa, you've got November November, you have Echo Bravo, you have Charlie Charlie, you have Romeo Bravo, Romeo Charlie, November Delta, Foxtrot Alpha, Foxtrot Bravo. Okay. Um, and if y'all don't understand what I'm speaking, and if those are German to you, go run back. It was a while back that I did one of my videos. I taught you guys how to do the the phonetic alphabet. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, India, so on and so forth. I'm not going to go through them all because it'd be a waste of your time. But in Houston, okay, they have both letter designations, but there's a huge map. Okay, it's massive. Um, Now, one thing that I want to address to you guys real quick here is at Dulles, you've got 19 left and one right. So that's one runway. Then you have one center, 19 center, and you have 19 right and one left. And then down, way down at the bottom, okay, you've got runway 12 and 30. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, four active runways for a pretty massive square footage of a space. Okay. Now you're like, well, that doesn't seem all that big, but remember, that's DC. DC is the capital of the United States. That's where majority of all the goods will come to feed the nation's capital, right? And I'm not saying it's the only place they go, but that's where a majority of a lot of goods come in from. Okay, a lot of legislation, a lot of commerce, a lot of goods, a lot of imports, exports, all that good stuff. Okay, because it's set primarily in a location where they can hop, skip, and a jump to the European area, to the Latin area, to the African area, right? To the China area, all that good stuff. All right. So, what does any of this have to do with anything? Okay. Let me show you something real quick. Um, Now, I may or may not still have it with me. Oh, okay. I did. I just hung it up somewhere. Okay. In the airport that I'm working, okay, it's no surprise. I work at IAH. Okay. So you have this runway to know, this runway to know, this runway to know, this runway to know, and this runway to know. So one, two, three, four, five. Five runways, right? So kind of the same amount that you had over in DC, right? With I don't know if they're planning on adding another runway over here by runway 9 and 27. Okay. Um and the reason that I did this was to signify all the FAA runway frequencies, right? Because believe it or not, as a member of the move team, you have to memorize these, okay? Because the airport that we work on, as we say, is our playground, right? So we know what all these areas are. We know these numbers, these frequencies. Whereas pilots that come in and out on a daily basis that are not there all the time may not memorize and recognize all these numbers, right? So you have the ground frequencies, you have the ramp frequencies, you have all that good stuff. Now, what's the significance to some of these that I attached here? This is the most direct taxiway adjacent or parallel to the runway, right? So you got Foxtrot Alpha, right? That's off of 8 left and 26 right. Okay. Below that, remember, they're parallel runways. So if they're parallel runways and they're together, they have left and right designators. Okay. And if you guys are familiar, all right, where are my av geeks? So if this is 26 left, what would be the opposite runway without peaking? It would be 08 or just 8 left and 8 right, correct? Yeah. So these are the parallel taxiways, major taxiways that we would be using on a daily, regular basis. Sierra Bravo, Sierra Alpha, November Bravo, Charlie Charlie, Foxtrot Alpha, Whiskey Bravo, Whiskey Alpha, Whiskey Papa, and Whiskey Charlie. Am I all making sense here? Okay. So this is what I have been doing for the last 9 weeks is memorizing this board. But wait, there's more. Remember this one? Okay. So we need to know these spots. We need to know the red spots, which are called drop points or handoff spots. We need to know the frequencies to contact them. Okay. And we need to know all the others. Now, I'm sharing this with you, but I'm also here to tell you if you Google some Google, this is public information. I'm not sharing some top secret information. Okay. You can find this information, it's on there. You can Google some Google. Okay. And these red marks are also drop points. Now, the reason I did this is because these are lead in taxiway drop off lanes. So when you push in an alley, what's an alley? An alley is one of our verbs we had to learn or words we had to learn. Okay. An alley is a paved area, usually between two terminals or concourses. Okay. So this here is an alley. Alley Alpha Bravo. Alley Delta Foxtrot Echo. Alley Juliet Hotel. Right. And obviously, you've got Charlie 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, so on and so forth. And it kind of goes all the way around, right? Then you got, so this is Charlie terminal. Then you got Echo terminal. Now, what's behind Echo? It's Delta. I'm going to make a disclaimer. None of this makes sense because you got CEDCBA, right? But there was a method to their madness on the FAA and whoever made this whole airport. Okay. So we had to memorize for 4 weeks and test it out all this information in just 1 week. Okay. Needless to say, my brain rotted. Okay. So that's pretty much one of my updates. I wanted to let you know that that's why I have been absent from this channel and haven't been posting for a while because I spent and was dedicated to my whole thing. Um uh East LA, yes, I have been doing this for a while. So I actually started um back in March. It was March 28th. Would you all like to hear the whole story? So I came out here in Houston way back in January of 2025. Okay. There was an old colleague of mine that was working with the move team back in my old station, and he came out and said, "Oh, I got a transfer." That didn't work out for him. Unfortunately, he had to go back. So I said, "Well, if they're taking your transfer, I'm going to put in a transfer." And this was back in November of 2024. Okay. So I got accepted and it was crazy. I think I shared the whole story. So then I came out in January 4th of 2025 and have been out here ever since. Now, there were a lot of invitations to join the move team, but you have to meet certain criteria. And I didn't meet that criteria, even having prior move team experience, which is wild, isn't it? So it's not what you know, it's who you know. Don't forget that. Now, I don't want to downplay or downgrade anybody who's coming at me in the comments, but I want you to know that all this stuff on your belt, all this experience, you could have a resume huge, right? Could mean nothing, but it's who you know, right? Um, and you can climb the ladder once you get in. Um, so At one point, I got invited, but I didn't have the fortunate minimum requirements to meet their needs, so I had to wait. Then the next one popped up, and my schedule was open, and it was in March. It was March 28th, and I had been a team lead, a leader for the ramp guys, the ones that load the luggage in the planes and the bags and the cans, for a while. And I was like, it's time for a change. I'm going to join the move team once and for all. So they contacted me and said, all right, you're going to start March 28th. Get ready. So I did. And you know what time they told me to start on the 29th? Try 4 a.m. in the morning. 4 a.m. Can you can you wake up at 4 a.m. and memorize those two poster boards in one whole week? And those were just some of them. I'm um I don't know if I have a this is my journal of information to keep with me, and it's for my move team stuff. Um okay. So let's do this here real quickly. All right. You guys see all those letters and numbers? We had to memorize all those in there in between, right? So imagine having to learn all of them, right? All those itty bitty numbers. Okay. Remember that little big fold out thing I was showing you? Imagine doing that on a much bigger scale. 4 weeks. And matter of fact, I only had 1 week to memorize that whole thing. But I got a jump start. I started memorizing that early so I could test out better. Okay. Um, yeah. So The first week was what we call phraseology. Phraseology is all about learning the airport, the verbiage codes and the words and what they mean, right? So if I tell you coordinate means one thing. If I tell you heavy, if I tell you call sign, if I tell you company, if I tell you disregard, if I tell you go ahead, all this good stuff. So they basically have to make sure we're on top of it. We have to be on an FAA proficiency level, right? We're talking with FAA and all these big boys, all these big guys, okay? Remember, this is our playground. We have to act as though it is our playground. It's not our property, but it's our playground, okay? Someone built it for us and we use it. Do you all understand that? It's not our ground. It's not our materials. We use it more than we built it. Make sense? So we have to act accordingly to the higher ups, right? They want to say, why are you acting this way, you guys? You should know this, right? So you have to be proficient, okay? So that's life update number one. And just so you guys know, come Saturday this week, I test out. I pretty much have to do a bunch of assignments, and then they're gonna say, well, according to your proficiency and your effectiveness and all that, we're gonna go ahead and write you. We're gonna go ahead and give you your stuff. They're gonna give me my vest, they're gonna give me my device, they're gonna give me a whole lot. Probably give me a parking card and all that so I can officially park in their parking lot, right? Because right now I'm a visitor. I'm like a newbie, right? But again, guys, I'm not worried about it one bit. So that's life update number one. Life update number two. Um, Now I don't think I shared this, but I'm going to anyways. You guys remember this tattoo that I had done? So it was done back in November. It's almost a year now. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of it is fading, right? So this H is really good. I want to touch up the D. I want to touch up the A and especially the I here. This I can be good. Now, one of the things that I wish I had done when I did this, so you see the numbers here and here. I wish I'd have made red and red and red and red borders here. And then white lettering. Why? Because on signs that you see out there, you see red and white lettering for runway designations. Actually, I think I'm going to do that with my poster boards, right? Over there on the wall, right? It's got just plain old white poster boards. I'm going to paint them red, maybe even just get red like paper and just tape over them like a almost like a what do you call it? Like a wrap, right? Like a film. Okay. So I got this one back in November. Now, I also got this one done. This was a um symbol that I used to draw back in grade school, and I made one on a piece of mail that like mail envelope. I was just doodling and I was like, that looks really good. So I took that to a tattoo artist. He then copied that and he then drew that and then transferred it and then tattooed it. So this is permanent. It's not coming off, guys. And last but not least, I had a tattoo done that was terrible because I fainted. Now, I hadn't eaten that day, my blood sugar was low, and I was rushed, and there was a whole other bunch of factors that was just terrible, right? So I normally don't do this, but I'm going to do this for you anyways. Stay there real quick. Okay. Now, if you look very closely at my tattoo. Okay? Do you see the mark in the shadow, the stencil. You see it? It's very faint. But do you see the handlebars in the background? Look at my handlebars on my tattoo. Now look right above it in that clouded, shaded area. You see the old marks? That was about as much as they got finished on my tattoo before I fainted. So I went back to the guy and I said, hey, look, I know we were at an event and it was at a Harley dealership and they had they called it a flash tattoo. It was like a $13, $14 tattoo that you can get. It's like a really small tattoo. It's about that big, right? It's about the size of the one I just did here. About that big. Okay. And you can get it done, and normally you don't get to pick the way it's done. It's normally pre-stenciled. They just basically put a transfer of ink on your arm, and they tattoo that design on your skin and wipe it away, and that's your ink. It's your tattoo. It's called a flash tattoo. Well, I'm like, hey, listen, you did that, and I didn't have a lot to eat. I fainted. My blood sugar was low. I'm here to tell you I went and got this tattoo done when they rejected me or allowed me to come back and do it again because I had eaten that day and my blood sugars were normal. They said, no, you got to go see a doctor. I won't do it. I refuse to. It's like, really? That's wild. So I called them and I said, listen, they won't do it in the store. So why don't I come to you, the tattoo guy that did the tattoo, say, yeah, 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 come on over, man. Listen, I don't, you know, condone them. I don't work for them. It was just an event. I don't like doing them, but it was a great opportunity to earn new clients. So I was like, I got you. I got you. He said, let's do a cover up tattoo for you. So we came up with this idea. He said, let's do the clouds right here to cover up that old handlebar. And I said, oh, that's perfect. And you can do the um the handlebars with the gas tank looking like you're riding into the storm, right? Like you're about ready to ride a ride into a storm, right? Like you're always on the verge of, riding into chaos, right? Which honestly is what I end up doing. You guys just don't know it yet. All right. So, um, yeah, and I did that because it's a cruiser, and cruisers are the only bikes that I like to ride. Okay. So, um, because of that, I ended up just getting this tattoo. So I have now one, two, three, four. I've always had this one. You guys already knew about this one. Eventually, I want to get one done right here, which is going to be a plane window, and it's going to be a window right from an airplane inside the actual cabin, right? The inside that you guys are in your seat, right? Looking outside, and the wing is right inside the window as you're on the wing aisle, right? The aisle, the emergency exit aisle. Okay. So I think it'll be pretty cool, right? And then right here on my breast, right here, and like pretty much from here to here, I want to get a killer whale done. Now, why a killer whale? Um, because I think you know, I have a very big, profound heart for marine animals that are in captivity. Um, but you guys are probably wondering why all this looks different, and that's my third update. I actually have my own place. Before, I was with a roommate in a nicer apartment that I could afford, to split with somebody, but am in a little bit lower quality, but I can manage it financially, right? So that's pretty much where I'm at now. I'm in my own place, right there, a door there. I've got my own balcony. Um, I wanted to show you guys the whole setup here. I've got my desk. Now, I'm in the process of moving stuff from my storage unit in here, so I don't have everything, but this is my CPU right here. I'm planning to put the yoke and the thrust levers on this thing, so it's going to be there, but I'm going to get a better stool there. There's my joystick up there, and there's my notes, okay, and a bunch of stuff there, okay? And then There's my laundry, and then my kitchen, right? And I'm adding some stuff in my touches of my own. And then in there is my bathroom, and in there is my bedroom, and then some inflatable decorations. Yes, I took that picture. That is my picture. And then I have some plastic totes, which I've been moving in, moving out. There's some totes there. And then that's my carpet. And then I have some stuff that I'm going to decorate with. And then there's just my bookshelf of knickknacks and stuff, like my books, and then my very first dog who passed away, and then some things to collect and all that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cozy. I'm making it my own place, right? My own space. Now you're in my room, okay? And I have LED lighting all the way around my bed. You just can't see it yet, okay? But see, I do have it. It's right there, all the way around. Now, it's a spool of 100 feet of LED lights. All right. And you can tell because right there is one of the spools. The other spool is right there. I just don't know how or don't know where I'm going to end up putting them. So they're kind of out of sight. And I don't want to run them across the doorway, right? Like I don't want to put them across there because you'll trip on them and break them. And I don't feel like running up over the door. Maybe I could. That might be one thing to do. So, I'm gonna turn the light on for you guys, but maybe not. Um, I'm trying to save energy, so that's why I decided not to do that. Alrighty. So, my dresser, my TV, and I found this on Facebook Marketplace. It's just an inflatable energy can, a display, a store promo, and then some canvas pictures, my window, my bed, and then my bathroom, got my curtain, my walk-in closet. The great thing is that my walk-in closet is not that full, right? Because I have my dresser. When I used to have a walk-in closet at my old place, oh man, it was crazy. But I just want to show you guys here real quick in my channel. This is what I'm gonna get, my shirt. You guys recognize that? I'm gonna be able to wear this soon as I pass my exam on Saturday. Okay. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much my last update. Yeah, I don't really have any other updates for you. Um, I will update you guys as much as I can as I go. And yeah, I would love to continue to make content for you on this channel. So stay tuned. Um, Unfortunately, I will not be doing any content driving or speaking or operating a tug. The company doesn't want it and doesn't allow that on social media. So, unfortunately, you aren't going to be able to see what I do at work while I'm at work. But if you want to see content while us loading and unloading an aircraft, go watch my other content. You're free to do that. Okay? As always, I'm Sean the Toga Brother. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all subscribing. Um, and until next time, guys, you guys know the drill. Take care, East LA. Appreciate you for watching. All right, buddy. Take care. I'm Sean the Toga Brother. I'm out.